LaVell Edwards Stadium will be rocking tonight on a beautiful fall Friday night in Provo, Utah. A rivalry matchup, Utah State out of the Mountain West visiting the BYU Cougars. We welcome you to College Football Primetime presented by Hulu. Playing for the old wagon wheel tonight. The BYU Cougars about ready to take the field and get the house rocking on what should be a fun, perhaps shootout Friday night from a couple of high-scoring, high-octane offenses. Great to have you with us on this Friday night, along with former Pitt quarterback John Kajimi. I'm Mark Neely. Quint Kesnick down on the field will join us shortly. John, we kick it up a few notches. It's a rivalry game. Utah State won this game a year ago, so they have the chance tonight to do something they haven't done in over 40 years.
Well, it means something to win a rivalry game in back-to-back years, and that's exactly what Utah State wants to do. Some of the most fun I've ever had as a college football player was playing in games like this, where it means something. The community's up, the fan base is up, your friends are asking for tickets, but it's the team that controls its emotions in the early stages of the game, the team that can take a breath, step back, and just execute. That's the team that usually comes out on top. So that's what I want to see early in the game, who can control their emotions, BYU or Utah State.
Cougars and Aggies have taken the field, and both offenses very good. Utah State has really kicked it into gear here early in the season. And Jordan Love, their redshirt sophomore quarterback, is he kind of one of the unknown stories around the nation? He's a really good young player.
Absolutely. I think you hit it perfectly. He's one of those guys around the country that arguably one of the most efficient quarterbacks in the country no one talks about. He's good on the run. You can move the pocket with him. He has great accuracy from the pocket. He knows when to throw it. He has perfect timing in the pass offense. And yes, when you get inside the red zone, he can run it as well. That zone read is lethal because he's athletic enough to get it in the end zone. So I think this guy needs more love around the country because he gets it done through the air and he has enough athletic ability to do it with his legs.
Aggies had an off week last week, so the numbers from 2 weeks ago, he was the conference offensive player of the week, Jordan Love. They'll play at a high rate of speed. BYU not so fast. They like that running game, Swally Canada and Lupini Katoa.
If the running game's working for Brigham Young, they're going to have success early in the game. And it's a 1-2 punch for these guys. Canada, he's more powerful between the tackles. Katoa, he's quick, he's versatile, he can catch the football. Over 600 total yards between these two talented runners. So if BYU has success early, that means that offensive line's moving that line of scrimmage, and those guys are getting 3-4 yards on first down.
A gorgeous Friday night, a rivalry game. Utah State, BYU, the battle for the wagon wheel, and some more history on the wheel when we come back. Playing for the old wagon wheel tonight from LaVell Edwards Stadium in Provo, Utah, Utah State and BYU. Let's take you through some of the history before kickoff. BYU does lead the Lifetime Series. They are 48-36, and there have been 3 ties in the history. First meeting back in 1922, won by the Aggies. It was the first ever game in the history of BYU football. Then from the 20s to the 70s, the rivalry certainly favored Utah State. But then legendary head coach LaVell Edwards arrived in 1972. Since then, BYU has won 31 of the last 40. Quint Kesnick has more on this rivalry from the Utah State locker room.
Nothing better than a trophy game tonight. They play for the old wagon wheel. It's got heft, too heavy for one man to carry. It's got history, dates back to 1948, symbolic of the American pioneers who ventured across the prairie to settle the Utah Valley. Utah State won it last year. They've had it in their locker room. They walk by it every single day. Tonight, they hope to roll it back up to Logan with a win.
All right, Q, we need you on the field now, buddy. We're ready to go.
It looked like he was going to take that wheel back for him. That's right.
Any trophy that takes more than one person to carry, I'm all for that.
That's right. You know, it's well worth working for, and that's what Utah State wants to do, try to win it in back-to-back seasons. And BYU, it's important for the Cougars to start fast. They haven't scored a lot of points in the first quarter. Important for them to get off early and make a good drive here with this initial possession.
Defoe takes a knee. It's going to come out to the 25. And Tanner Mangum, senior quarterback from the Boise area, Eagle, Idaho, kind of lost in the fact, yes, the team in general did not play well last week in their defeat in Seattle to Washington. But Tanner Mangum had a nice game, went 18 for 21 through the air.
Well, he's an experienced quarterback. He's 25 years old, sixth game in this new system on offensive coordinator Jeff Grimes. So you look for him to get rid of the football quickly, use that running game, be efficient in the pass offense. They don't ask him to stretch the field vertically too much.
Katoa motions out of the backfield. And Mangum fires, and a strike is caught by Dax Mill, a true freshman, up to about the 33-yard line, about an 8-yard gain on the first play of the game.
Really nice job getting rid of the football early. That's what BYU is going to do in this offense. To have success, it's a catch, read, and throw type of offense for Tanner Mangum.
Now for BYU, they are playing without Moroni Laulu Pututau, who tore his right ACL on BYU's first possession at Washington last week. Out for the season. Now they change the formation, tighten that up, and make him under center on second and short. Here's the pitch. This is Katoa running right. He has the first down. Got hit hard by Gage Ferguson. The safety came up to put the lick on him, but it is a first down for the Cougars.
That's exactly how you feel a hole if you're a safety coming from about 12 yards out. Top of your screen, 23 in white. He's going to square his shoulders up, find the running back, and deliver a hit. It's good enough for a first down, so Katoa did a good job of securing the football, but a big hit at the end of that run.
First down for the Cougars from their own 36. And Tanner Mangum, 18 of 21, 160 yards through the air last week. Hands off Katoa. And off right tackle runs for 4. For BYU, the first quarter has been a bit of a bugaboo. They've only scored 7 points in the first quarter through their first 5 games. Those 7 points came on a touchdown run by Squally Canada in the first quarter of the game at Wisconsin.
And Mark, you would think this team would be more explosive, and I know Coach Satake wants to be able to get more out of this offense, more consistency, and really find more explosive plays early in the game.
Motion goes Pau, comes back to the near side. And a handoff, this time it's Squally Canada, and straight ahead. He's met for not much up to the 41. There is the third-year head coach, Kalani Sitake. Of course, played here at BYU as a fullback.
You could tell he had that mentality yesterday in our coaches meeting. He wanted to talk about going downhill early and winning that battle of the line of scrimmage. They're going to have to win this in third and medium.
Call it a third down at 5. Trips up top. They send in motion Milne, and a look to the sideline by Mangum. 5 on the play clock. Shumway, the intended receiver, at the 45. Defended by Jamarcus Ingram, and it's fourth down.
Well, that's really nice coverage on the perimeter. Just a quick slant. Mangum tries to fit the football into a tight window, and Jamarcus Ingram did a good job of closing, giving the quarterback nowhere to throw the football.
So 1 first down on the first possession for BYU, but Red Ullman comes on to punt. Jordan Nathan back at the Utah State 20. Ullman, good punt. All the way back to the 15, where it takes a BYU roll inside the 10. And it's going to be down at the 8. 52-yard punt for Ullman with no return. The field position will not be all that great for the first possession of the game for redshirt sophomore quarterback Jordan Love and the Aggies.
It's a guy that really sees the football field well from the quarterback position. He's a leader. He's one of those guys that has great knowledge of the offense. So head coach Matt Wells, a former quarterback in his own right for the Aggies, gives him a lot of freedom at the line of scrimmage to check off and go to a couple of package of plays that he runs and he controls at the line of scrimmage or in shotgun.
An offense that can go lightning speed from deep in their own end, going to hand off. Darwin Thompson does get across the 10. Stopped there by quarterback Michael Shelton.
Here's the tempo you're talking about. That offensive line already ready to go. They want to snap this ball within 10 seconds.
Love with his first throw of the game. And he finds Green. That's Jalen Green. Brought down about a yard short of the first down at the 17.
Look for zone read run, quarterback option that has the ability to run here on 3rd and short.
Yeah, right back to the line. And a look to the sideline. Got the 3 receivers up top. Keep an eye on Tarver at the top of the screen. Love hands off in the carry for Darwin Thompson. And he'll have the first down. There is a flag.
This one might come back.
Illegal formation. 5 players in the backfield. Offense. 5-yard penalty. Replay 3rd down.
Didn't have enough guys on the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, now it's going to put a little bit more pressure on Jordan Love from the quarterback spot. Those are the ones early in the game that head coaches scratch your head. You go over it all week with simple formations and checks from the line of scrimmage, but now more pressure on Love to make a play on 3rd and medium.
Yeah, 3rd and 1 turns into a 3rd and 6.
Dax Raymond, who's going to be at the top of the screen just off the tackle, one of those targets that Jordan Love loves to find on 3rd and medium.
And Raymond, second on the team with 15 grabs.
Yeah, he has a knack for finding those open areas.
Love steps up, throws, a catch is made at the 11, but well short of the sticks by Darwin Thompson, who is down and out of bounds, and mark him out at the 13.
That's a huge win for the Cougars. They wanted to flip the field early on the Aggies, who love to put up points and have explosive plays early in a game. Short of the sticks there, that penalty, the formation, mental error on 3rd down takes off a first down off the board.
Taylor Heitze punting out of his own end zone, gets a pretty good punt away, and Michael Shelton from his own 44. Shelton, near side, crosses midfield, tackled at the 48 of Utah State. So very good starting field position for the Cougars when we come back to Provo. Got a little snow at the top of the mountains last night. Feeling like football weather here in Provo. 5 minutes gone first quarter. Matt Wells, the head coach at Utah State. His team trying to do something they haven't done in 44 years, and that's win back-to-back rivalry games with BYU, but also a 4-1 start. If they won tonight, would be the best start under Matt Wells as head coach.
You know, it was fun talking with him this week about the intensity of this rivalry and just getting to know his team. I asked him if this team was mentally tough. He said, you know, John, I'll tell you in a couple weeks. You know, right now, I think we are, but I'll know more about this team in a few more games.
See what BYU wants to do on first down from the 48 of Utah State. And Mangum looks to throw, dumps it off right at midfield, and that's Katoa out of the backfield. He is met and tackled for a loss by Chase Christiansen, a loss of 3.
Christiansen, great recognition on the screenplay. He's the linebacker who's going to go right into the flat, and he's going to be able to read this right away. He eludes the block of the offensive guard, and he's able to secure the tackle for loss on first down, so that negates some of that good field position for the Cougars on 1st and 10.
All right, at midfield. And this is the second possession for BYU. They picked up 1 first down on their first possession. Mangum hands off, Katoa straight ahead. He's going to get back near the original line of scrimmage when the drive started, so he picks up 2. They're back to the 48 of Utah State. Devon Anderson, defensive end, with the stop.
You know, Mark, this is where you don't want to live if you're Brigham Young on 3rd down. 3rd and long usually means blitz by Utah State. They're going to bring somebody from the linebackers or bring 2 from one side. Watch for man-to-man coverage and pressure in the pocket.
In motion, Hefo. We really haven't seen much of that jet sweep action that's been so prominent in the offense for BYU the first 5 games. 3rd and 10. Mangum looking left, throws wide open, and he hits Micah Simon. He's brought down right near the sticks at the 39-yard line. The spot will be everything. Gage Ferguson had the tackle.
Really nice body control by Simon. He's known for his speed, but this time he idles down to slow his body down, turn his shoulders and make that catch, and Brigham Young's going to send out some big people on that offensive line. Maybe add another lineman at tight end and go for it here on 4th down.
Yeah, John, they have a tendency this year to run right. They love their right guard, Hodge, and their right tackle, Hoyt, in short yardage situations.
Put the tight end Holker on the right side of that formation. On 4th and 1 and a timeout with the play clock winding down, called by BYU. So we'll step aside as well midway through this first quarter, and a 4th and 1 coming up for the Cougars.
ESPN College Football is presented by Hulu. Watch your football games live all season long on your favorite channels, no cable required. And in part by Mazda. Feel alive.
That shot right there is from the actual 1922 meeting, BYU against Utah State. That was the first ever game in BYU football history. Second possession of the game for the Cougars. They face a 4th and 1 from the 39 of Utah State. Keith Patterson, their defensive coordinator. Let's see what his defense dials up. Squally Canada in there. Tailback for BYU. On 4th and 1, they've converted 3 of 7 4th down opportunities this year.
As Quinn said, they're going to want to run to the right side as they shift over to the left with the strength.
But now Hefo motions far side. Fakes the handoff, and it's picked off! Threw it right into the hands of the defender, Nalei. He's headed the other way and strutting into the end zone. Touchdown Aggies. Tipa Nalei. 55-yard return on the pick six. They set up play action, John, and it backfired on BYU.
Yeah, how about Keith Patterson, the defensive coordinator? He has a smile on his face. And the athletic outside linebacker, Nalei, he's able to get into the passing lane and make a great play on the football and then turn into a running back for 6 points. Who, as a quarterback, you have to be able to avoid and find a passing lane on 4th and short.
Point after, up and through for Dominic Eberle. Officially a 56-yard pick six return for the TCU transfer, Tipa Nalei.
What a great job of being aware at the line of scrimmage. Nalei, he's going to fight off the block, then get his eyes up and get his hands up, and does a great job of avoiding blue jerseys as he runs into the end zone. That's just having awareness and being disciplined at the line of scrimmage to be able to fend off, locate the football, get in the quarterback's throwing lane, and then turn into an athletic outside linebacker to run the football. All Mangum needed to do was alter his throw. He could have went outside of Nalei and be able to find a passing lane. He had his fullback in the flat wide open in El Bakri. That's a cardinal sin on 3rd and 4th and short. You have to be able to find a lane to throw the football. Utah State better on 4th down there. Fifth non-offensive touchdown. If 2 kick returns and 2 interception returns make it 3 on the season.
A touchback. So let's check in with the studio for the first time and say hey to Adnan Vert. Yeah, Adnan, I think you can say Georgia Tech and keeping it on the ground and just play that on a loop.
Boy, I tell you, in the second half, when a lead like that, it's going to be tough to get the ball away from Georgia Tech.
Well, let's see how Mangum and the BYU offense respond after the pick six. It's handed off Micah Simon. You know, we were talking about the jet sweep action, which really has been prominent in the BYU offense, something that's been totally different than the offense that Ty Detmer had as the coordinator the last couple of years.
Well, they're trying to do it by design, and I know offensive coordinator Jeff Grimes trying to stretch the Aggies out sideline to sideline. That's why you use that threat of a jet sweep where you give the football or you fake it and make the read a little bit easier for Tanner in the pocket.
Mangum this time goes far side and take it at the 29. Hefo He's quickly swarmed under for just a 1-yard gain. And once again, the BYU offense going to face, what about a 3rd and 6 here?
And so far, Brigham Young on offense really going to the short passing game. It's the quick passing game, and that's what offensive coordinator Jeff Grimes thought, that they could build more consistency in this offense, but they need to gain more yards on 1st and 2nd down because you're going to create pressure situations on 3rd down.
Gives it to Katoa, trying to bounce it outside, nowhere to go. Aaron Wade, safety, comes up to make the stop. I'm kind of hearing a chorus of boos coming down. Cougar fans not happy with the first couple of possessions for the Cougars.
You know, we talked about those rivalry-type games and playing with emotion early. You can tell Utah State on defense especially. These guys are running to the football. That was a really good run by Katoa, avoiding traffic in the backfield. But right now, I just feel like they're playing with a little bit more emotion on the field.
Jordan Nathan to receive this punt. He has one of the non-offensive touchdowns this year. He had a 59-yard punt return TD against Tennessee Tech. And that's going to be down at the 29. 7-0 Utah State. 5.5 minutes left first quarter. Coming up tomorrow on ABC, a top 25 matchup in Blacksburg. Undefeated number 6 Notre Dame coming off their win over Stanford. They face number 24 Virginia Tech. 8 p.m. ABC, live on the ESPN app, so you can watch anywhere. Saturday Night Football presented by Wells Fargo. We're just getting your big weekend of college football rolling here on this Friday night. That's what's ahead tomorrow, including those AP top 10 teams.
Yeah, that Notre Dame game should be electric inside of Lane Stadium with that environment. I'm sure Sandman will be out there bright and early.
Second possession for Jordan Love. He fires a strike. That's to the tight end, Dax Raymond, his 16th catch of the year. Number 1 tonight, a 7-yard pickup.
Tight end with great hands and really good in the seam.
Giving it a look, hand it off, Darwin Thompson. He should have a first down across the 40. Looking to throw on first down. Love going to take a shot near side, too far out of reach. Looking for Aaron Vaughns. There's Zane Anderson. He has been out the last couple of games, so he is playing for BYU. There's Zane Anderson, the senior.
Yeah, the coaching staff talking about we're going to play him as long as he's able to play. Had a lot of injuries, missed the last 2 weeks, so one of those guys coming back on defense for BYU.
Yeah, he's an undersized linebacker with good wheels. He can cover slots, and that comes in handy when you're trying to deal with this Utah State offense.
Safety Diane Gawoliku not expected to play again tonight. That'd be 3 straight games without him for BYU. Here's a Thompson carry to the 46. He gains 5. There, they just flat out said, hey, we're going to start Zane. We'll see how long he can go.
That's it, and you have to. You got to get your best 11 players out on the field when you're facing an explosive offense like Utah State.
It's the second third down faced by the Aggies tonight, 0 for 1.
Raymond in the slot up here. I would look for an in cut by the big tight end.
Love looks near side. Green the catch. First down to the 41 of BYU. Jalen Green, the transfer from USC.
Great example of throwing the ball caught. The back shoulder was the only opening and window that Jordan Love had available to him in the pocket.
A quick snap. Love keeps, throws. It might have been a lateral. It was, but it's Tarver taking off. He'll advance it inside the 40 to about the 38-yard line. Tackled by Austin Lee.
And don't be surprised if they look at number 1, Tarver, in the red zone. He's got great size at 6'3", good ball skills, can track it in the air. If he gets man-to-man coverage out here on the outside, I wouldn't doubt Utah State give him a chance to go up and get it.
Hand it off this time. Thompson trying to find the edge. There's a flag. He's tripped up at the 33-yard line.
Yeah, they're going to get Tarver for a block in the back.
Illegal block in the back. Number 1, offense. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Replay, second down.
We're trying to pump Tarver up. He's from Glade Central out in South Florida, but he gets that block in the back trying to help out his running back. You see that number, you have to almost turn into a shield and don't get those hands extended. He got into the back there, and that's going to cost him yardage.
Gerald Bright comes in as the back. Second and long now after the penalty, second and 16.
Can BYU create some emotion, some explosive plays with their defense against a really talented quarterback? That's the question right now for that sideline. They need to get the football back.
Love passes, and he's got him. There he goes. Terrell, the tight end, inside the 10. First and goal, Aggies.
What a great touch on the football. When he needs to throw it with some velocity, he can. When he can stand in knowing he's going to get hit, just a great touch pass over the top of the Brigham Young secondary.
That's the 6th catch of the year for Carson Terrell. What was a 40-yard gain to set up the first and goal.
They love the tight ends. They love to throw the ball up the seams as they do a rare sub here. I'm surprised BYU's not matching.
Well, they got Tarver and Quint to the short side, and you always have to look out for quarterback run here in the red zone.
They'll set up Raymond there on the right side of the formation. Vaughn's in the slot on the near side. Love looking, lobs towards the end zone for Tarver and too far. Incomplete for Ronquavion Tarver.
Trying to get that frame of 6'3" to the back of the end zone. Instead of running a natural fade route, they bring him on an in cut. Wilcox with nice coverage for the Cougars.
Second incompletion for Love, who's now 5 of 7 through the air to start tonight.
This will be huge if Brigham Young, they can keep him to a field goal opportunity. It's a team that scores a lot of points. Plus 30 points in all 4 games, averaging over 50. Big possession to hold them to a 3-point chance here.
Love rolling out. He can run. He takes off inside the 5. Tackled down at the 2. Lost his helmet. Rolled into the end zone, but was definitely down short. Zane Anderson, number 23, made the tackle.
That's going to bring Jordan Love off the field for at least a play.
Yeah, 4th down, so even if they wanted to go for it here.
They may call a timeout to get him on the field if they decide to go for it here on 4th down.
Yeah, I think that's looking to be the case as they call their first timeout. Is it indeed a timeout to keep Love on the field for a 4th and goal try when we come back? 40-yard catch for tight end Carson Terrell set up the 1st and goal, but it's now 4th and goal. The helmet came off Jordan Love on the last play, shy of the goal line, so to buy his way back in without having to come out for a play, they call a timeout. They're going to go for it on 4th and goal from the 2.
Yeah, I think you spread you out by formation. That's what head coach Matt Wells is going to do. Give a little bit more room for the running attack for Bright, the running back, and also for Jordan Love if he decides to keep it.
That kicks the noise level up here at LaVell Edwards Stadium. Aggies leading 7-0 thanks to a pick 6.
There's some confusion on the Utah State sideline with the play call.
Well, it's under 5 seconds now on the play clock. They're going to have to call another timeout maybe.
Down to 2-1. Get it off in time. Hand off towards the end zone. Wait. They got another timeout. No play. No play. And you got to say this right out of the chute.
Timeout. Utah State.
You just called a timeout.
You had a 2-minute.
It will be 30 seconds.
You had at least over 2 minutes on the sidelines to get organized. You didn't see what you liked defensively, and I know Coach Wells is in good shape, but he's going to have to run down the sideline here to get to the official to call that timeout.
Well, he called the timeout. The play really took place, and immediately it looked like Bright may have gotten in the end zone.
And it was close to being a delay of game.
Yes.
There was indecision with the assistant coaches on the sideline in terms of checking in or out of that play. They looked at each other. Some said yes, some shook their head no. They looked at the head coach. He looked at the clock. He's like, I got to get on my horse.
That's not what you need on 4th and goal, huh?
Good thing Matt's in shape. He ought to pull the hamstring getting down there to the goal line. But now you've got another opportunity with the crowd into it. I think you spread out your formation. You go back. Looks like they're going to go empty here on fourth down.
Bright comes in motion. They fake the handoff to him. Love under pressure. Throws back and all alone. There's Bright. Touchdown, Utah State. Well, no indecision there. That play call works.
What a great job of execution inside the 5-yard line. Bright's going to start down here, and he's going to go in motion and just bubble himself and kind of lull the BYU defense to sleep. But it's all action this way. All the eyes are to the short side of the field, and the presence of Jordan Love to throw a catchable pass to Gerald Bright in the far corner of the end zone. That's good execution and good awareness by Utah State.
And the point after makes it 14-0. Bright's first touchdown catch of the season. He has 4 rushing touchdowns, but that one on a 4th and goal call from the 2.
Well, the play that sets it up was Jordan Love's touch pass down the middle to Carson Terrell. Came into the game with only 5 catches for 60 yards, but he gets behind Zane Anderson in coverage, and there's no safety to be had. Then you come back, you have a couple of cracks inside the 5-yard line, but on 4th down, a nice touch pass by Jordan Love, who's done that well tonight. That big touch pass down the middle to Terrell. Then he finds Bright in the end zone, and celebration in a rivalry type setting on the road quiets the crowd down and makes you a little bit happier on the sidelines.
You saw when Jordan Love threw that from that angle, he was going to watch it, but he was kind of backing up towards the sideline. He knew he had the touchdown.
Might be one of the toughest throws to make when you've got a guy so wide open. You just want to make it catchable for him.
So the Aggies have a pick-6 score and now a touchdown catch for Gerald Bright. That one angling, and it will be a touchback. And already with 1:50 to play in the first quarter, this becomes a big possession for the BYU offense.
Well, we talked about the struggles in the first quarter for Brigham Young on offense. Only 7 points in the first quarter all season. And that's one of those situations where if you're Coach Satake, you want more consistency early in the game. You think you've learned your lessons throughout a couple of games where you've struggled. Now it's time for that veteran quarterback, that 25-year-old Tanner Mangum, to take control of this offense.
In motion Hefo, and here's that first jet sweep. Cuts upfield, hit, cut down at the 29, so he picks up 4.
John, the field feels small down here on the sidelines. You look at these safeties from Utah State. They're sitting at 6 and 7 yards from the line of scrimmage. Chunk plays for BYU this year have been in short supply.
Well, Quint, there's no threat of going vertical. That's why you're allowed to cheat if you're a safety. If you're Ferguson or Bond, you're trying to test BYU's offense. You're daring them to go over the top.
Mangum fires, caught for the first down at the 42. That's Matt Bushman. 14-yard gain.
Well, that's an answer by the Cougars on offense. You get Matt Bushman, who has good movement for a big tight end. He's able to clear the linebacker, and that's an excellent throw by Mangum. Great timing and good anticipation in the pocket. He's a really good thrower of the football in between the numbers. Anything down the middle, down the alley, he's very effective.
Squally Canada in the backfield. Tanner Mangum hands it off to Squally. He's tackled for a loss. John Trell Rockemore, the linebacker, 4-yard loss.
Wow, great penetration and no hesitation by Rockemore. He's able to come off the side of that defense, swim around the tight end. The tackle doesn't even touch him. And another tackle for loss for this Utah State defense.
That's the second time tonight already that the BYU offense has had a negative play on first down.
Yeah, we talked about first down being so important for Tanner Mangum to get this offense rolling. That's one of the things you want to talk about as we go to the second quarter.
So
That is the end of the
BYU
first quarter.
only had 7 first quarter points all season coming in, and they exit the first quarter.
Anytime you're playing a rivalry game on the road, you want to be able to make explosive plays early. They did it on defense. They did it on offense. Utah State rolling early.